What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast coming at you with another action figure review. This time I'll be taking a look at the DC Universe Classics Green Lantern figure of Medphyll and NautKeLoi. If you're wondering why I just said two names, it's actually one body with interchangeable heads in this packaging. And with that being said, let's get a closer look at the packaging now. This is a card and bubble design. On the front, it says NautKeLoi, DC Universe Classics. The card from this wave actually has nothing but green lanterns in the background, so I am quite the fan of that. There is the Medphyll head. It says DC Universe Classics. And here you can see a closer look at some of the lanterns in the background, including Tomar Ray, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and Kilowog. On the bottom, we get product information. There's a look at the Collect and Connect piece in the packaging. And on the back, we get a profile of NautKeLoi and Medphyll. Here's a look at the other figures available in this wave, including the completed Stell Collect and Connect figure. Here is a close-up of the biographical information offered on both Medphyll and NautKeLoi. If you'd like to read this, please pause the video and do so now. I am quite a fan of this packaging as the entire figure is visible and the Green Lantern artwork in the background frames the figure well. But with no further ado, now it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here's a look at the Collect and Connect piece. I did a review of a complete Stell here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. And here we see NautKeLoi and Medphyll out of the package and ready to rumble. And yes, I already had another loose figure that I am including in this review. There are many positives about this figure, most notably that it allows you to represent two Green Lanterns that rarely receive any kind of collectibles. However, I do have some areas of criticism, so let's take a closer look at the loose details now. The figure has two-toed feet and features the green, black, and white color scheme of the Green Lantern Corps uniform. The Green Lantern of Sector 586 has a head that features excellent sculpting, and the paint applications are equally outstanding. Outside of the feet and the head sculpts, this is a basic DC Universe Classics Green Lantern body mold. I would have preferred a glossy or metallic green for the green sections of the uniform. However, the black sections are slightly shinier. This one has some extra paint around the neck area. Although overall, I'm pleased with the paint job. The trapezius and latissimus dorsi have plenty of definition, as does the lower lumbar. And the figure is sturdy despite having only two toes on each foot. If you were to ask me why I'm such an avid fan of Green Lantern, I would tell you that it's not just the iconic human characters, but supporting characters like Medphyll and NautKeLoi. Here we see one head sculpt that represents an alien race that looks like vegetation, while the other looks like a humanoid fish that wears a helmet filled with water that allows him to breathe. Both of these head sculpts accomplish their goal of representing these incredibly creative characters. Here is a look at the Green Lantern ring, and it is outstanding. You can clearly see the sculpted edges, the paint applications are very exact, and the Green Lantern symbol is clearly visible. And now a word on NautKeLoi's head sculpt. It can be difficult to get the head sculpt to sit flush onto the neck peg, and the top of the helmet is actually removable. There are these little plastic tabs that detach from this part of the helmet, but I must caution you to do this with the greatest of care, as these tabs are very small and this plastic feels very thin. So take your time removing and replacing this part of the helmet. In terms of articulation, the feet move backward and forward on the ankle joint. There's a single pin knee, and that will allow you to get the figure into a good running pose. The quadriceps swivel just above the knee. You can get the figure to kick forward this much, so I'm very happy with that. The hinges on the hips allow you to move the legs out this far, so I'm also happy with that. And I'm always appreciative of a figure being able to step back for good ring slinging poses. There's pivoting at the waist, crunching backward and forward at the upper torso. Of course, you can get the figure into a good flying pose. There's rotation at the wrists. There are single jointed elbows that move to this degree. There's bicep swiveling on each arm. The shoulder joints allow you to move the arms up this far from the sides. You can rotate them backward, and I'm appreciative of that. Medphyll's head sculpt moves easily side to side, up and down somewhat, and there's a minor amount of head tilting. However, with NautKeLoi's head sculpt, there's very little movement due to the helmet, and if you try to force it side to side, you'll likely pop off the head sculpt, and you may do some paint damage, so really your only option is to leave him staring forward. And now some final thoughts on this figure. Obviously, this release has limited appeal. The only collectors who are likely to be looking for this now are completionists or big Green Lantern fans who may not have had a shot at this when it was in retail stores. The good news is that you can still find this figure for around $30. And if you're trying to build a Green Lantern core for your collector shelf, that is certainly attractive. Although I wish that this release came with a personal power battery or a construct accessory, I was just very happy to hear that we were getting non-human lanterns. And I should also point out that there is another version of this figure, with the Medphyll head packaged on the body and the NautKeLoi head packaged off to the side. If you decide to get one or two of these figures, my guess is that you'll be very happy with them. So I definitely recommend that you add this figure to your group of plastic ring slingers. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and please tell all of your friends about this channel. I would certainly appreciate it. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.